Hi, welcome to week 5, day 1 of math. Okay, so we are going to learn about points, rays, and line segments and lines today. Okay, so this is your first page, and really the first page I like it because it just teaches you a lot of the terminology. So the first one just says point A. Points are named by a single letter. So you see a dot. In math, we call that dot a point. We don't say point, we say a dot for geometry. And we would say point A. Now, if you have 2 points, like point A and point B, and you have a line that's connecting them that goes out beyond in one direction with an arrow, we call that a ray. And we name that ray AB. It starts with the A because that's where the starting point is. And it ends with the B because that arrow tells us it's going on in that direction. And then, of course, if you want to label it, you would label it with the letters. AB with a little line over it. Okay, so you have point, you have a ray. Now, if you have arrows going off in both directions, that's not a ray anymore, that's a line. Okay, lines go in both directions. Okay, so you would name that line AB. So you would have the AB with a little line symbol over it, or you could switch it around because it doesn't have a starting point like this one. This one had a starting point. This one does not. So you could call it BA or you could call it AB. Now, if it didn't have any arrows at all, you'd be looking at a line segment. A line segment has no arrows, okay? It has a starting point and a stopping point, or a starting point and a stopping point. You don't know which way it's going, so you can name them both ways, AB or BA. This time, see, no arrows. All right, now let's do some practice. We need to write the names for each of the following. So looking at this one right here, this one has no arrows. So we would call that, good, a line segment. Whoops. And we would label it FG. So we would do F, G, or G, F. And you would label it with the little line on top with no arrows. You could do it either way. Okay, look at this one. This one has just one arrow. Let's look back at your little notes. That's right, we would call that a ray. Now, rays are special because it's got a starting point. This time the starting point is T. So we have to start at T. So we would call this TS. And that would be ray TS. And you could even write ray. We could probably on top write what it is, a ray, and this is a line segment. So see how I just wrote above what they were? Okay, Okay, now our next sheet is just more of the same thing. So you could use this paper as your reference. And then we're on to this one now. Okay, we're just naming them and labeling them. So we have this one. I think this one is a line segment. Very good. So we're going to put line segment. And then how would you label it? P, Q. Or Q, P. Okay. Now what's this one? Yes, this is a line, just a regular line, not a segment because it's not just part of a line. It has two arrows, so it's actually a line. And you can call these, yes, QR or RQ. Good job. Q, R, or RQ. And now remember to put your little arrows on top. Okay, now let's look at this one. That one, yes, it's just a point. So we would say point J. Point J. And look at this one. This one has a starting spot, but it goes on in one direction. So we would say this is a ray. Good. I'm going to put a ray up on top. And it only has one way of writing it. You would have to start with B. B, C. With a little arrow. Okay. Moving right along, we would see this one has no arrows. So it is a line segment. And how would you write it? X, Z, or ZX. Okay. Let's look at this one. This one is a line. Good. And it can be written both ways. CD or DC. So you could write that line both ways. CD or DC. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one has starting point and then it goes on in one direction. It's a ray. Think about a ray of sunshine. Starts at the sun and then it goes down to the earth. So it goes in one direction. J, K, and it is a ray. It's got one arrow on top. Think of a ray of sunshine. And then you have point P. Sorry about the noise, guys. Point P, point P.
Mom, they won't calm down. What should I say?
Okay, we're almost done. We have a couple more. This one has 2 arrows. So it's M, N, or N, M, and it's a line. M, N, or N, M. And then, as you see, this one does not have arrows, so it is a line segment. And we could call this W, X, or X, W. Okay, and we're almost done. We have just 2 more left. What do we call one with no arrows? A line segment. Good. And how could you name it? 2 ways, right? VW or WV. Good job. So that one is a line segment. And remember, you don't have any arrows when you rewrite them for the labeling. In our last one, we do have a starting point and then 1 arrow in one direction. We call that a ray. So that would be a ray, and we would have to start it with M. M to L with our arrow going like that. Okay? All right, that is all for day 1. I will see you back tomorrow for day 2. Bye.